President Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill heads back to the House today after the Senate passed it in a straight party line vote on Saturday. No Republicans voted for the stimulus. It follows changes made to appeal to some centrist Democrats by taking out the $15 minimum wage. A final House vote on the relief is expected tomorrow, and it should head to President Biden's desk by Tuesday night. Joining me right now is Iowa Senator, Senate Judiciary Committee ranking member, and member of the Senate Finance and Budget Committees, Chuck Grassley. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. So is this how we are going to be governing? Is this the new normal? Pass things with absolutely no Republican support?
On reconciliation, that's possible. But if they don't do away with the 60-vote requirement, every other piece of legislation will have to be bipartisan. This one could have been bipartisan. In fact, we had 48 out of 49 Republicans vote for a package that was needed. It was targeted. It would have been about a third the cost of this one. And it got 48 out of 49 votes. That could have been passed a month ago, and have the people that need the help get the help. But what's in there, the two-thirds beyond that is just a wish list for a lot of liberal things that the Democrats couldn't accomplish otherwise.
Right. And that includes things like the $350 billion that is going to the states and the municipalities, $350 billion in state and muni aid, or the $170 billion for schools, $130 billion K through 12, $40 billion for college, or $50 billion for rental, homeowner, and homeless assistance, or maybe there's health care, the biggest expansion of Obamacare ever, 100% COBRA subsidies to September 30th. And then there's, of course, the arts and humanities, museums, and the rest. I want to get your take on bipartisanship on this voting bill, the H.R. 1, that Nancy Pelosi has been prioritizing. President Biden signed an executive order on expanding voting access, he says. He is pushing the Senate to pass the controversial H.R. 1 bill. The House passed it last week. No Republican support at all. I want to get your take on that. We heard from South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures about this. Listen to this. Will H.R. 1 pass the Senate?
No, because we've got the filibuster rule. You need 60 votes to pass H.R. 1. How did they pass the COVID bill that we just voted on? Through reconciliation, where you can deal out Republicans. You don't need 60 votes. Again, March of 2020, we worked together 96-0 to pass a bill. So H.R. 1 will come to the Senate, and it will die in the Senate, because we have the ability, as long as Democrats work with us, to make sure you need 60 votes, and not one Republican is going to vote for H.R. 1.
Senator, do you agree with that? I mean, you're going to need Democrat support to stop this, right? Do you feel you have it?
The answer is yes. And I think as long as 60-vote requirement's there, and don't forget, the Senate has always had, for 240 years, a supermajority to stop debate. And so let's go to the Constitution on this Voting Rights Act. The Constitution makes very clear that state legislatures set voting and the dates of elections, et cetera, et cetera. With this, you would have the federal government preempt every one of the 50 state laws, and they're all different to some extent, except when you have a uniform date for federal elections. So do we want to preempt the constitutional requirements and have the federal government take it over? I would say no, and every state's a little bit different. Let the states decide, as they have for 240 years. We have the biggest voter turnout in the history of the country, just phenomenal turnouts for both the winning candidate and the losing candidate for president. So what's wrong? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Well, we'll see about that. I mean, some of these things in this bill are just absolutely outrageous. Having a 16-year-old able to vote, no ID. I mean, why outlaw IDs to vote? What? What is that? I mean, what is the intent of that? And of course, then it's just make mail-in balloting the standard. All of this is very concerning, Senator. But I want to move on to your hearing the other day with Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, because you were great with him in terms of pulling out important information around the January 6th Capitol riots. Once again, we find the FBI in the middle of this. The information that was given to the FBI was not passed up to the director? What is going on with the police state in Washington right now as the Democrats call the Republicans armed insurrectionists? Meanwhile, there weren't any guns, there weren't any shots. I mean, what did you learn from that hearing?
Well, of course, breaking into the Capitol building itself was a violation of law. But beyond that, what we need from Christopher Wray, two things that I want to emphasize to him. Number one, we need data on all of these information that we got, and we need the data to check everything that and make it everything as transparent as we can. And secondly, I want to make sure that the FBI isn't only looking at what they call right-wing extremism. They've got to look at left-wing extremism, and that's best represented by what happened last summer in all the big cities of America, where we had burning and looting and rioting, and we had people on CNN saying, with the fire behind them, that there were peaceful demonstrations, and we had $2.5 million damage to the Portland courthouse, which is about equal to the damage that was done to the U.S. Capitol building. They got to spend as much time on left-wing activities as they do right-wing.
Yeah, no, I think it's an important point. Look, Senator, we want to know what comes next. President Biden has been talking about infrastructure. He's put a focus on a massive infrastructure package after a bipartisan meeting last week with lawmakers on Thursday. Many people are expecting this quote-unquote infrastructure bill to really be a tax increase bill to help pay for all of this wild spending that you all have unfortunately been forced to engage in. Is the next package after the $1.9 trillion spending package, is the next package higher taxes?
Well, if they do it by reconciliation, the answer is probably yes, because all the Democrats know is tax and spend. And that's been the history of their party over a long period of time. I would hope that there would be some Democrats that would feel that there's a lot of good in the 2017 tax decrease bill that we passed, particularly helping small business, getting tax rates down so we can compete in international trade, and the jobs that were created as a result of it, and the best economy since 1969, when the last time we had a 3% unemployment rate, and the lowest poverty rate since they've been taking statistics on poverty, et cetera, et cetera. Everything was good until the pandemic come along. And do they want to upend that? And I think maybe they do, and it'd be sad if they did. If they want money for infrastructure, about 2/3 of what's in this bill, a lot of it doesn't even spend out until the year 2028. And why are we appropriating money now for all those years into the future if we could take that money and do it on infrastructure, something that needs to be done right now, not something that's going to be done in 2028?
Well, that's similar to what the money for the schools, right? The school money is not being allocated until next year, right? 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, and all that money is to help the teachers' unions, you know, the biggest group backing the Democrat Party. It's all a political document because, you don't know the number of schools I've run into where the superintendents have come to my town meeting and said, we've had school every day since August. And private schools tell me the same thing in August. And then we got these big cities of Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York wondering whether or not they can even have classroom for the next 2 months until summer break comes, and they're still fighting that. If it's safe in Iowa, why isn't it safe in these other communities?
Yeah, that sounds awfully political, Senator. It's good to have you weigh in and walk us through all of this. Thanks very much. We'll keep watching and spotlighting these issues. Senator Chuck Grassley joining us this morning.